This here is a mean fucking machine. I'm gonna talk to someone about this grill. Belongs to my customer, the grill. But now this truck that's mine is missing it, so it belongs to it. I thought somebody had cut this and I was fucking pissed, but then I noticed that actually just slid down and needs to be bolted up here, but the window's stuck. So I'm less pissed. I'm still pretty pissed at the asshole that cut the fucking dashboard though. And made a random big ass hole over there. But I'm also happy that it has the fucking plates and they're chrome. So it's a high option one. Unless obviously somebody chromed them in the 90s. When this truck was built. So this truck was a build from someone in the 90s. Or less what I got from the guy that sold it to me at his crib. He said his brother took it apart for them and then his brother died. And then they never got back to it. But it was running and driving. Again, this is all alleged information. Running and driving vehicle that somebody did a front cross member swap from, like, this guy said a Camaro, but I don't think it's a Camaro. I think it's earlier, like maybe a Bel Air or a little small Nova, because it has drum brakes and it has a single cylinder juice master cylinder. So, but definitely it does have a swap. Now it's a 5-bolt 5x475. Yeah, it came with one Krager and some Steelies. This Steely is mine because I had to change it because it gets flat. That one does too anyway, right? But okay, an engine swap. Has a small block Chevy and has a modern column, and it has an automatic transmission. Cut this hole out of the way. Show you. Yeah, so that's a small block Chevy. I like those valve covers. It's probably like a 327. Looks like the motor spins freely. Thankfully, the carburetor has been somewhat covered because it's been sparked like 15 years or some shit. That's what the guy said. So alternator barely clears. That's how my 52 is on my Pontiac. So he did a pretty alright job on it. I might go over the welds on the cross member. They kind of just, I'll show you. I feel like the guy that did this bumper bracket. So I never talk shit or bash on people's builds like this because you never know when the fuck they did it, what kind of welder they had or anything, or the material available. But you can see here how they spliced the newest frame to the truck's frame, and it has these plates. So now it has juice brakes, 5 lugs, and well, column shifter. The column don't look too bad. I have a wheel for it, a better wheel, original wheel, and gotta clean out, take out that fucking rubber, see how the floor looks. But overall, it's pretty solid. The motor spins freely, so I think it's gonna run. Might be driving it later on. I wish I would have recorded this shit better because if you can see, I went on a straightening frenzy. Some straight painless dent repair bullshit. I almost got that bitch legit. I don't know if you saw from the previous video, I had some straight up ding up in that bitch. And I'm about to pull the bed on this hoe. I already got all the harness out. And then this last couple bolts and it's gonna be out. But dang, I got that bitch pretty fucking uncrashed. Can maybe see a little bit here still. But I mean, shit. I hit it once with my palm. Whah! And that bitch just popped right the fuck out. On God. Looking up a lot of fucking rat shit. Don't breathe that shit in. I have this weird ass seats that weren't even mounted in, but that's gonna be gone. I'm put a bench on it. They left the floor unwelded. Some questionable welding all over the truck, but yeah, we have to fucking patch the floor up a little bit, but it's pretty solid compared to other ones I've seen. It's gonna be coming up for sale. It's gonna be running and driving. So whoever's interested, if the motor's bad, I have a motor for it too. So start hitting me up. So I've been working on fucking grinding this bitch smooth for a little grip now, but we're close. And I still gotta deal with this whole bottom lip, but I'm just feathering off until it hit metal with metal. And some of the little spots is gonna be like an entire hole still, but I'm gonna try to fill it in with rod. And boom, it don't have a ginormous rust hole anymore. That shit, cause you see the bottom is still painted like the Monte Carlo paint, and I just grinded the paint on both panels like on the edge. But this like gray part is actually like the Monte Carlo paint. But you can get it painted all the same color, like get a little fucking skim of filler, and it'd be like a fucking, never even tell it was there, but the hole is covered. I'm looking out this other side. I think this side maybe it could just be covered with fiber, but probably not. So I don't know if you guys remember, the other side was pretty much like this, but like huge as fuck. But this is the same premise. If you can see here, this bottom lip, this is like the lowest part, but for the most part it's pretty tall still, so it has some sort of structure. There's a bunch of dirt and like shit in there that you gotta clean out. Once you clean it out, you cut it like this, like over, like probably over here, because it's all rusted already, and then like did the other panel, just overlap it in and then trace it and then cut it flush. You know, just be flush mounted, and all this dead shit's gonna be in the back. You could take it out or leave it, doesn't matter. That's where we're gonna put the rust neutralizer. But again, this is the easiest way to go around it, because it's like a fucking double panel through the inside. And this is like pretty structural because of the inside, so we'll deal with that when we deal with it. Part of that came on this small block for the Cadillac swap is dragging, and this little pin here was, I think it's like it was broken from the inside or whatever the fuck. But I pulled this one from my stash. This is from a motor I blew up, but it's still like new. You can see those screws are still gouted. Anyway, that one bitch works for sure. And yeah, we're getting there. Adentro cuartilla y puerta al asador. And this, ladies and gentle cracks, is the moment of truth. Well, a moment of truth. There's a lot of moments of truth that need to go on, but we have crank. It's wired from ignition, so that's a fucking big step. Hell yeah, my brother. And I'm thinking that if I get 12 volts without a ballast at this one, I can just go direct to the HEI, and we're gonna have ignition. I gotta do the fucking shifter cable, shifter linkage, and then transmission cooler lines, and a transmission cooler because that radiator does not come equipped with one. Tallest goat we've ever had here. It's just pygmy midget like her, but all the other ones are born a little bit bigger. This one's like a little chihuahua. Parece chihuahueño el güey. Está bien chiquillo. They produce midgets like him. He is older than this one, because this one's American. This is the gypsy.
Renegado. ¿Qué pasó, mi amor? ¿Qué pasó? Mira, chiflón. Ahorita es cuando los agarran y los hacen chiflón.
Ese güey va a ser como...
Ese güey ya se logró, está bien listo.
Está bien chiquitito el güey.
Ay, pobrecita, sufrí.
The grill looks marvelous on it, but I don't know. There's one spark plug missing, so there's an open hole there. Even though the engine did turn freely, there's still fucking missing spark plug. I cleaned it up pretty good. Well, me and my post it anyway. There's no brake fluid in the cylinder, so something's wrong there. And then the fucking transmission dipstick, which I think is this, because this transmission is not a TH350 or anything. It's like maybe a Power Glide. There's no fucking cover for it or a dipstick, so it's probably fucking full of shit in there, which is no good for its life. But whatever. I do have a 4-speed that can go in it, so I didn't even wear it. So me and my dad are fucking gonna pull the oil from here with this. We rigged up this fucking PVC pipe that barely fits on this hull, and if the science is all right and physics is aligned with the stars, it's gonna pull the oil out, and we're able to see how oil looks and pull all the dirt at once. You know what I'm saying? Like Bill Nye said. So now I can throw that oil away and then try to put a new one. I think that's all that's in there. It's pretty great, man. But I'm happy it has oil, so it should probably run. Air leak, but I think it's from somewhere my compressor set up. I'm gonna have to check it out. I'll probably put some Teflon or some bullshit. There should be. I'm gonna lower the back only. That way it's like a fucking ramp. Oh, it opened the ignition though. Slam from the back. It's easier to fucking pick up that bed on that bitch. Toma. Está por arriba. It's hard doing shit with just me and my pops. So this bitch full lift, so I can get it as rampy as possible, and then I'm gonna just lift over here from one edge, and it's gonna tilt. Levántale. Arre, ahí va, ahí va. Dale gas. No la tienes que tener, yo la estoy teniendo. Nomás dale para arriba. Ahí va, ahí va. And big ass fuel leak because I run a fucking fuel injection pump from a late 90s. Late model square body, which is an early 90s square body, like that bourbon over there. So I have that fuel pump running with a return system on a triple leg return filter, like old school style. And then I don't know, somewhere here it's leaking mad fucking gas, like ridiculous amount of gasoline. So I gotta figure it out. And also air. This is my air setup here. I have 2 tanks. It looks like the fucking tank moved too, so I don't know, some shit's going on. It's a good time to revise it and look for the leaks and then put this bitch back on. It's not even a big deal though. I think it's easier to take the bed off for me than to fucking try to be crawling under there to find the fuel leak and all that bullshit. I was fucking tripping yesterday, I think. Look at that fucking knot. That knot's about to fucking slip off. I don't know if you can see it, but safety third. I do have it from this one too, so there's not all that weight in that front part. I gotta fucking fix it though before this bitch falls off. This bed is heavy as shit with those fucking side steps and the fucking fiberglass fenders and everything. These fools grew up fast. I don't know why the fuck the tank moved forward and like got off the strap. That seems like some crackhead activities. Because there's nothing that can hit it. Go inside that like far into the frame to hit it. To do it, I don't know. I'm just gonna get it off this vibration. But I don't know. Crackhead activity shit going on. Excuse my beautiful wiring. I threw shit together with all the spare shit here at home, so it's pretty alright setup. Though it has a big ass 2.5 tank and it has 2 of these compressors, which now I'm running the fucking AC compressor under the hood by the motor, so I haven't really hardly even running these. There's the valves to drop the rear. Pretty much. I know you can see the fucking panooter here on the fucking line that has bursted open, but I think this line's all mushy. I think that's what happens when you run like modern fuel on these old lines, because this is a straight fuel line, but yeah, it just became all mushy with the ethanol or whatever. This truck just can't put together with all the shit I had laying around, because I wanted to have it ready by like last summer so I can cruise it. And I did, and then it kind of just sat here after the winter because I was doing other shit. And I think just gotta revise little things here and there. Gotta find that air leak, redo the tank shit that's moved, and then the fuel line, put the bed back on it. Pretty much. Probably bleed the brakes a little bit better from the rear. And right now I have it off. I came to fucking harvest this hose. It's still pretty soft, and it's a diameter of fuel hose I need for one of these tanks that I have stashed up here. But I forgot I had these little fucking chrome shocks, man. I've been needing them. Last time I needed some short shocks, loop to loop like that. It's all Honda frame. I took the motor out of it. Chop up. Fuel leak. I even put a fucking return filter on the fucking on the line, because not for safety or anything, just because that's the fitting that would fix the leak. I'm gonna zip tie it here, but if you can hear it, it's running continuously because it's a fuel injection pump, and then it has a regulator in the front that keeps it at 7 psi for the carburetor, and it just keeps the gasoline in a loop. And that pump's like from a near square body like this bourbon. I think I had said that shit yesterday, but anyway, no leaks. This bitch should bust right off. A little flooded there for running the pump. Oh, there you go. There you go. I gotta oil up that fucking compressor. I think I'm gonna run fucking mineral oil on this bitch, or hydraulic oil, because this bitch has been good. It airs up on the quick, and I can stay playing with the bags like all the time because it keeps like at 300 psi the bitch. I know some people be scared and it sounds like a lot of pressure, but don't worry. It's been hella noisy though, and I've been running PAG oil, and it's now an on-return system. I'm about having to add oil every so often. You can see how it shut the fuck up real quick. And it costs for 8 ounces, but this is a 16 ounce bottle, and I put like a 3/4 of it, so I'm gonna call it 12. I'm gonna call it 12 and see if it doesn't self-implode with this heavier oil. But I don't know, look at it. That bitch quiet the fuck up. Let's put a filter back on there. Kill the little chickens, huh, Fatima? They piss you off? Anyway, I'm trying to pump up to some. It's already at 120. This bitch pumps fast. So I can turn the truck off, have it lift it, and then I can hear where the fuck the air leaks are coming from. I'm probably gonna have to bust a soap bottle so I can fucking spray everything and see where it's bubbling at. And I gotta fucking relocate the tank real quick, and then I'm gonna fucking put the bed on it. Just, you know, it's like something breaks on the vehicles you drive every day, and then I have to stop the whole fucking shop shit because it's just there's some progress, man. Anyway, 10-4. We're moving on that Cadillac. I should be able to have a fuel on it, or figure out what the fuck's going on with the fuel system by today or something. This is the story of my life. Everything just goes out of fucking scale. So the problem I have, the issue in hand is that, do you see this here? This is the port for the filter. I took off the filter. That means that if there's pressurized air coming out of the breather of the fucking compressor, it means that the tank is bleeding pressure into the compressor, which means that the compressor's probably shit now, which means that this check valve ain't shit. So I gotta get a check valve or just block off that compressor port now that I'm running the new AC compressor. I think I'm just gonna do that. But yeah, this bitch is blowing. That check valve went to shit, and then it's just returning the pressure into the tank, and that's no good. Yeah, and that's not just a simple air leak. It's actually equipment failure here. But yeah, they do come with a check valve here. I think I could put on a I think I took off the bumper for the last time. I have the same distance from the lights on both sides, the same curve. I need to run some tape lines, and I think we're hitting the same slope on both sides. It's centered. I think all the measurements I can think of throwing on it, it's getting equal. The bottom line's a little bit more frisky on this side, but that's just damage from the previous one. I think I'm gonna fucking run a clamp right now and try to fucking get it straight. I think it's gonna be golden, but before I do the final welding on the sides right here, and when I take it off, I'm gonna have the owner look at it, and then we can talk about how it wants to move or whatever. You know, it's all perception really, so I gotta get that shit 4 eyes on that hole, maybe even 6. But yeah, like 2 weeks. So actually the fucking shifter on the Cadillac is gonna fight me not driving with the 50th. So we're gonna do a little fucking light bulb suction on the hoe. Get it real skinny. I was only here for like 2 hours trying to fucking figure out the shifter, which, to be honest, was a little bit of fabrication involved and everything, so I'm pretty happy. Ain't too bad. I do have a lot of fucking labor already in this piece of shit Cadillac, but I just really hope this engine's good, because I want to be happy, and I want the customer to be happy. If you're hearing this, I want you to paint 2 of my trucks for what you're gonna owe me. I don't know, we're not gonna talk about it, but I think that'll be a good deal. He doesn't have to spend any more money than what he's gonna spend already in parts, and it's gonna be some elbow grease on his part. We'll see. First, we gotta get this bitch going first. Churda! Churda! If you had asked me about the clearances, this host doesn't apply here anymore. About the clearances of this motor in the Cadillac, and if you can see, you could barely fucking, even with this Nova oil pan, it barely clears the fucking, what is this, like the steering rack? Who would have thinking that these cars had so little space? And there was a homie asking me how the bottom looked, because actually a couple of heads have told me that they have a this year or this generation Cadillac just kind of sitting there because of the motor. options for it. And yeah, it's a Nova 2 oil pan from a small Nova from the first generation. Yeah, this bitch fits like a glove. Everything clears nicely and everything. Obviously, I had to make the motor mounts, but you know what I'm saying? Inside these modern radiators, inside the tank, there's this transmission cooler that has the same line ends. And I fucking blew that bitch with the air compressor, cleaned it out, and it's basically gonna be an air transmission cooler for this. For now, I guess, or forever. Works just fine. I plug this shit up. Good thing I have all these like little fucking fittings laying around because this is what came in it. It's a lot of fucking trips to a store that you can avoid, you know what I'm saying? And money spent, I guess. I never really ever ran these on my personal setups. I'm more of a look at the gauge type of guy and forget about it. But I'm gonna fucking run this bitch is badass. 200 and 165 PSI. At 200, this bitch just jump off the ground, so it's pretty golden. I'm just gonna tee it into the main line here somewhere. Now I don't have to run wiring all the way back. See this truck? Sometime in the 70s or whenever the fuck they bought it, this is a conversion truck, so when this truck was brand new, like day one kind of deal, it got took to a company and then they put all these mamas on it, like these side steps and these hinges, and like made it like some sort of camper special. Que pinche rollo, Claudio. And then so they did a pretty hack job on like, they also put like specialty bumpers and a big ass tow hitch and shit, but yeah, some of the shit's kind of wonky that they did. This being one of the things that they just drilled really close to the edge of the fucking sheet metal. And I had welded this plate onto the other one to hold it on me while I would drive it, but now that I'm in here, I'm gonna like put this washer on it and then weld it. A little hacky jobby. Oh. I pulled out this liner because it's for a long bed and I just have it laying around and it's look better on the dually because the floor on the dually bed's pretty damaged. And I'm just gonna make a hole in the middle of this shit. I think it has like a melted piece over there. A little melted hole, but whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like a fucking night and day difference. I mean, it ain't all that, but it looks better in the busted ass floor. Anything here got melted, but whatever. I just gotta put the little fucking edge liner and bolt it in or whatever, but it looks pretty golden. Custom liner. So I put that cover over it and then traced it through the bottom so I can get a perfect hole. So I have the hole made on it over there. And then now I hung this bitch pretty good. So I can get it in there. I gotta move my fucking bike so I can get that shit. I think it's pretty golden. It's been inflated like that, full height, for a while. And now with the 200 pounds, it lives like 2 or 3 or 4 inches more. guess everything always just takes longer than it's supposed to, but I was able to put this bitch back into surgery here. I moved the fucking bed, and then the dually fucked up, but now I fixed the dually, needed some attention, a little bit of loving, so now we're back on the fucking thing. I'm trying to hit every project for a little bit every day, but progress is progress. So when you fucking do a short bed conversion, you gotta get rid of the original tank because it's a long bed tank and it's not gonna work anymore, right? And we're going with the step side on this one. However, I don't know if you guys saw the previous videos where I picked up the bed. They had it on a 67, which is a 67 to 72 body style. That's not the same or the correct body style for that bed. With that being said, those trucks have the gas tank inside the cab. So to remedy that problem, the person that had this bed got a fender or both fenders to have a delete or like a non-door for the fuel, so that bed is actually smoothed out. So I'm not gonna buy the original small tank, which is gonna save me money. I'm gonna be able to run a fuel cell in the back with a hole in the floor. Yeah, it's alright. So I gotta take off the drive shaft, and then I'm gonna cut off this disgusting exhaust going on here because it's probably gonna have a straight pipe now. It's this last day sounding like a sewing machine. Gotta take the drive shaft off, and then I'm gonna start marking. I already know this shit by memory from here on. 14 inches, straight cut, do some gusseting, and then boom, short bed. After that, I gotta lop off the tail, which is 6 inches off the tail, which is basically just this. And remove this cross member too, and like move it back like an inch, and then the hole. This hole's gonna be like right here, basically. Yep. But fuck that cross member is wrecked. I'm gonna probably just put a square one or from another truck. Cause somebody tried to pull something with it, and they dented that hole. Yeah, it looks way better with this fucking liner on the bed. Cause it's fucking all the wheel wells and everything are hell smashed on it. Cause it used to be a work truck, but now it looks a little bit better, I think. Helps me clear space in the yard too, cause I just had that shit laying around. It's from like a other truck that I made into a short bed, but you know, it's good to keep shit around. Stabbed some cat right here on the fucking gas station. The fool's laying on the floor all dying and shit. They stabbed him. Valió verga. So I've been going at it with a little square and the measuring tape, and I have scribed here the straight ass fucking lines that we're gonna cut right now. Finna start doing this bitch right now. Just gotta support the cab so it doesn't move, and then bam bam, we're going in. I done cut this bitch in half. Straight up fucking line. Pretty golden, I'm happy with it. Gotta move on, cut the rest of it. Slide this bitch forward, and then bang. Level it all out. Shouldn't be too hard. Put it back in place. Run some fucking lines on this bitch, straighten it up. And it's gonna be a short bed here soon shortly. I done cut this bitch in half. Straight up fucking line. Pretty gold, and I'm happy with it. Gotta move on, cut the rest of it, slide this bitch forward, and then bang, level it all out. Shouldn't be too hard. Put it back in place, run some fucking lines on this bitch, straighten it up, and it's gonna be a short bed here soon shortly. 14 inches. Right on the fucking money. I'll cut the other side and then slide it forward and we're on business. Yeah. So fucking getting ready for the slide forward. Here. Gotta clean up the edges real nice so I can get some good weld on there. And a little gussets through the inside and it should be golden. After that, I'm gonna start taking off these fucking, what are these bitches called, bump stops, because I'm gonna flip the axle and install the flip kit and C-notch it while the bed's off of it. I already have here the kit. This shit was like $100 because it's bigger metal or fatter for the C20. But yeah, I just got those axle flipper deals. That was a cheaper one that you gotta weld in, but I'd rather do that than spend a big. Yo, and this is how, babies and gentle cracks. This is how you motherfucking do it. See that fucking lines like a motherfucking arrow. So yeah, I still gotta fucking clamp the bottom and get it straight on the planes. I have it clamped over there already. Measure square or whatever, but I'm pretty fucking close. I think it's golden. Once that's done, I'm gonna tack it on all corners and then remove a clamp at a time so I can run a bead and then some hella gussets from the inside and we should be golden. But yeah, she's short now and we're gonna put a booty on her, so it's like plastic surgery or some shit, I'm saying, for trucks. I've been jumping around tacking it. This is my first pass, some hella beads. I'm gonna fucking, just like I said, I'm jumping around tacking it. It's all squared out. I'm just gonna go and lay some bead on the other side and then move on. But yeah, I already moved the clamps on the top here because I was already tacked and all square. But yeah, this bitch is short now. This is my initial fucking bead here, but then I grind them down to super smooth because I'm gonna run a fucking gusset like this on both sides just for extra protection. Yeah, but it should be golden. Once I grind it down clean, it'll be dope. I'm gonna grind it, give it another pass on all sides, put the gusset, and then we should call it golden. Hell yeah, my brother. This is my initial fucking bead here, but then I grind them down to super smooth because I'm gonna run a fucking gusset like this on both sides just for extra protection. Yeah, but it should be golden. Once I grind it down clean, it'll be dope. I'm gonna grind it, give it another pass on all sides, put the gusset, and then we should call it golden. Hell yeah, my brother. I'm gonna need. I'm getting ready here for the fucking axle flip. I have all the leaf springs off anyway. Can you see it? Can you see it? I'm gonna need all my JDM freaks to pull out their lotion. Pull out your lotion, and then shortly after, pull out. Excuse me. Oh, shit. That was a good dab hit. Anyway, I need you to pull out your fucking handkerchief because you're about to cry. Are you? I fucking love this thing, first of all. I wish I was recording, but I wasn't. But right now, when they rolled it off the trailer, the guy fucking took the hooks off, or some girl that was with him, I don't know. Someone took the fucking hooks off the trailer, and then that bitch just took off, and then it crashed with my little scooter over here and that microwave, and it fucking dented the shit out of it, but you know, I wasn't part. Yeah, so this bitch just ramped out the trailer. It's a 77. I fucking love the wheels on it. And what I was trying to say here, that it's a 280Z, a fair lady. What I was trying to tell people here, that you might consider this has been bastardized or not. Can you tell me what you see wrong here? Or right, depending on who you ask. And this is like the perfect vehicle to come here, obviously, right? Hell yeah, it's been fucking small block Chevy swapped. And I believe I can get it running. The guy, this other mechanic gave up or some shit, and yeah, I'm gonna get this bitch running right now. The engine turns over, should be golden. But yeah, it's been Chevy small block swap. It barely even fits in here. So, yeah, it's been small block swapped. It hasn't ran in a while. The engine turns over, but they have some Mickey Mouse shit going on here with the ignition and yeah, whatnot. So yeah, we'll take care of her. Yeah, for sure, I'm gonna have to go on a little mission here and do some investigation. I have to do some Inspector Gadget shit because somebody went on and put all of the Fast and the Furious switches. It's like, how many do I put? It's like, put all of them. Yeah, so I don't know. I gotta figure out what all those do. Yeah, it's fairly clean. I mean, the seats are a little wonky and shit, but the dashboard's not cracked. Or cracked-ish. Never mind, it's pretty wrecked, but still, I love this thing. I fucking love it. I'm happy I'm working on it. But yeah, it's gonna be here in the fucking farm for a little bit while we sort it out, I guess. I found these fucking lights. They're pretty sick. I'm gonna use them as underglow because my brake lights ain't tripping. So I'll fix the brake lights and then just add this bullshit for it. So it can be some Fast and the Furious shit, you know what I'm saying? Dang, shit short bed now. Dang. I dig that shit. It's just a red light. I don't know why it looks orange in the camera, but when you bring it down though, you could really just shut it down though. That shit'll drag bumper trip. Full slam, you could barely see that light, but it's down there. The fucking bumper's on the floor, but that's lifted from the front and dropped from the rear. It's gonna look sick at full slam. You just see that glow. Low-key fucking feel like my arms are gonna fall off today and shit, cause these bolts were fucking in there. Even after I torched them, and I lubed them up and everything, they're still hard as fuck, cause they have like brass nuts on them. So yeah, I had to fucking be torquing those bitches off. So fucking work out like a motherfucker, cause the impact wouldn't take them off. But anyway, I flipped the axle. I have the fucking leaves here already under, and then I have a little bracket for the kit right here. I gotta fucking flip this one because it's actually backwards. And what I mean by that, because the hole's not centered, it's actually offset. And on this side we fucked up, or I fucked up, and I put it in there backwards, so now the bracket's like that. But for sure, last night there was a bunch of progress. I took off these bump stops. I had to grind off all these fucking rivets one by one. It's 8 of them there, and then I did all the ones up here. I still need 2 on this side. If you see these 2 holes and the one on the bottom, hey Fatima, you better leave that fucking chicken or I'm gonna beat your ass. Hey! Leave it alone. I'm gonna take you inside. Anyway, if you see these 2 bolts, this shit can just move forward and bolt back into, like, this bottom bolt ends up being that one, and you can just slide that bitch forward. But I don't even know if I want to use this cross member, because somebody used it to tow and it's all wrecked, so figure out when we figure out. So I shortened the drive shaft. You just grind down those welds from the end and then take off the inner sleeve, cut it square, and then fucking hope it doesn't vibrate. It's hella short, so it probably maybe won't, but I just did it so I can square up the differential and everything right now. If it hella vibrates, we'll get it balanced or fucking go get one from the junkyard. But point make is that I want to get the fucking pinion angle correct, so we just need to have it bolted on. So I did that. I already have the axle flip and the fucking spacers bolted on, figured out. Now I'm doing the fucking Datsun right now though. I'm about to put the new fucking distributor on that, huh? Yeah, so fucking the owner brought me this distributor and carburetor and brand new ones. They're in there. So legend has it that this car stopped running because they put the battery on backwards and everything started fucking smoking. It has like this fucking Mickey Mouse MSD box shit going on here that I don't think they knew what the fuck was going on. But we're gonna get rid of that. We're gonna put the new HEI. So right now I'm trying to fucking put it in top dead center. I was just checking that the fucking distributor was spinning, because I was like, somewhat today I had a nightmare visions of it being not spinning, which would mean timing chain, but now it's all golden. Yeah, we're going. So basic premise of this is you gotta fucking plug up hole number 1, which I already pulled the plug from it, and it looks pretty wet. It looks and smells like unburnt gas, so it's running rich. And then I already fucked the spark plugs. They put the iridium NGKs is like, does not belong in this motor. This motor's supposed to have a copper AC Delcos. No matter what the fuck the auto some people tell you. They're trying to sell you some expensive ass shit that threats in there, but it's not gonna be really driving with your shit. In my opinion, fuck your opinion. Anyway, you're gonna plug up hole number 1, turn it over, like bumping the engine, and then when it fucking blows out of there, like it'll straight blow that shit out with the compression, then you know that you're close to top dead center. And then you can just go off the markings in the fucking harmonic balancer if it has any. Put it close as much as possible. So basic premise of this is you're gonna fucking plug up hole number 1, which I already pulled the plug from it and it looks pretty wet. It looks and smells like unburnt gas, so it's running rich. And then already, fuck the spark plugs, they put the iridium. NGKs is like, does not belong in this motor. This motor's supposed to have a copper AC Delcos. No matter what the fuck the auto some people tell you. They're trying to sell you some expensive ass shit that threats in there, but it's not gonna be really driving with your shit. In my opinion, fuck your opinion. Anyway, you're gonna plug up hole number 1, turn it over, like bumping the engine, and then when it fucking blows out of there, like it'll straight blow that shit out with the compression, then you know that you're close to top dead center. And then you can just go off the markings in the fucking harmonic balancer if it has any. Put it close as much as possible. Boom. Did you hear that pop? That plug that I told you to put in that hole, it popped right out of that shit. So that means that you're on a top dead center on the compression stroke. And it isn't good timing because it's actually pointing here to number 1. Boom. Did you hear that pop? That plug that I told you to put in that hole, it popped right out of that shit. So that means that you're on a top dead center on the compression stroke. And it isn't good timing because it's actually pointing here to number 1. Yeah, so we have this hole on top dead center. You're gonna make sure you don't fucking crank the engine over while the distributor's out, because then you'll be gonna have to set it on timing again or whatever, so don't do that shit. And then I made myself some little bit of reference marks there, just to know where the shit was more or less exactly pointing. And I gotta drop in the new one. We should be in business. So the shit drops in 2 steps. If you don't move anything from when you took it out, it should just drop into where you fucking lined it up to. And it's gonna be like, the first step, it's the gear, and then the oil pump driver, which is this little slot. I mean, it's coming fucking 350 knots, I'm pretty sure y'all know that. Shit, it's about a fucking time to put the hold down pin, and then start timing this bitch. I still gotta put a timing light on this hole and check out if it's fucking heating up or anything. This carburetor sucks. But she running, baby. 2 years, some fool couldn't get it running because they put the battery backwards and ripped off all the old wiring and did that shit on scratch, and we're golden, homie. This bitch is alive. Can't wait to fucking see what's good with it. I got her directly right now because, you know, things of life. But yeah, I gotta undo all that wiring. It's like a fucking chicken nest up in that hole. Whoever had this, that fool's a cunt. Had it for 2 years, couldn't even get it done. I'm gonna have to take off the alternator that he wired and put a Chevy 2 wire with a 194 bulb, just like a tractor. It'll be golden.